Hey everyone, thanks for watching another video. So this week I got outside on my bike for the first time of the year, first time of the season, and a really big reason for that was that over Christmas I splurged for myself, for my kids, for myself I think mostly, and got a kids bike trailer to pull behind the bike while I ride. And I finally got out with it. So the goal behind getting the trailer was knowing that our hands would be even more full this year, and I still wanted to train for Leadville and other races, and I knew that it might not be the 100, but now knowing that it's going to be the stage race, I hadn't decided at the time that I bought this, but I knew I'd be training for something. So the trailer in theory would help me get outside more and be able to get away more often because I could take one or two of the kids with me. So I was excited to finally put it to the test and get the kids out on the trail. But before getting to that, a little bit about the process of getting it and stuff. So I ended up going with the Burley D-Lite, and as is typical for me with any purchase, I did a lot of reading and researching, read a ton of reviews, Reddit posts, watched a lot of videos, all that sort of stuff, and it came down to either Thule or Burley for me. So one of the really consistent things that came from Reddit and reviews in general and YouTube videos was that if you're going to use it a lot, get the nicer one. And it wasn't just like quote unquote get the nicer one, it was get certain features, get the suspension, get the higher quality materials, the bigger tires, that kind of stuff. And everyone who got the cheaper ones or like the middle of the road ones ended up regretting it, and some of them ended up getting the nicer one, the more expensive one, or just wishing that they had, or having to sell one and get another. And so I was trying to think through that, and I was like, I don't know if the kids are going to like riding in it, if it's going to work out for me. I don't know, but it's a lot of money to spend, so I want to think through that. And I ended up deciding I really hope that they like it, that it works out, that we get a lot of use out of it. Our kids are still young, so they won't outgrow the weight limit just yet. And then obviously we just had a third baby, so at least having one kid that will be able to ride in the trailer for a long time is like, okay, I guess this is a good time to put the money into it. And I certainly hope I use it a lot, so let's just do that. And then the Burley D-Lite just had more features, seemed to be more built out, and just had incredibly good reviews from people using in all sorts of ways on all different road types and everything. And some of the things that I liked is that it had curved sides, which gave them a little bit more room, and has two other models have suspension, whereas I think Thule only has one model with suspension, and the one that I got is an adjustable suspension, which is nice, and has nicer tires because I will be on gravel trails quite a bit. But one thing that came up that I wasn't expecting was when I went to go buy the Burley initially, it asks you what kind of bike you have so that it knows what axle you need to get with it. And my bike and axle size didn't come up as an option. So I was like, oh wow, okay, decision made for me. I can't go with Burley. And then on the Thule site with the one that I wanted to get, there's an axle compatible. So I was just like, all right, I guess I'm getting the Thule, but I wanted to research that a little bit and make sure. And it turns out that what a bunch of people recommend, and Burley actually recommends it somewhere else on their site, is you use a company called the Robert Axle Project. And their whole goal is to make axles for bikes that are stronger, more resilient for pulling trailers, because the axle that comes with your bike is obviously not designed for that. So it was great to learn that that's actually what Burley recommends, and some people that I know and trust recommended it as well. So I was able to go back to Burley, buy the trailer. I think I got it maybe 20% off, and I got the axle through the Robert Axle project, and everything worked out super well. So that's what I ended up doing, and it's finally nice weather enough to get outside, and that was my big win for this week, and hopefully it helps me keep the training going and get outside more and just not miss days because of obligations with the family and such. So hopefully everyone has a lot of fun with it.
First workout with my big Christmas splurge, which is this trailer. If you just heard Wilder, he said, "I'm having a good day," which I had no idea if the kids would like this, but figured I'd try it first with Wilder. So hopefully this is the first of many, but we'll see. It's a lot to figure out. It's a bit of a production to get out today, so it'll obviously get faster and easier, but a little bit of a learning curve. So we'll see how this goes. Literally the first 30 seconds, I'll let you know what happens. It's an hour 15 workout. Let's see if he lets me do it. All right, I made it to the turnaround point, and things are going well so far. I only had to stop once, and hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully the wind's not too bad, but beautiful day for a ride. A lot of firsts being packed into this ride. It's my first time with the trailer. This is my first real outdoor ride with my new bike, my Epic 8. I've only ridden it around the block, so my first real ride. And then my first outdoor ride of the year. And all that made for a bit of a production getting out the door. But it was funny when we got to the parking lot where the trail starts. I told Wilder that he could ride his bike when I'm done, but I have to do a workout first. And he said, "You mean when you pretend to ride your bike?" Meaning like the indoor trainer, which he sees me do in the basement. And I was like, "No, I'm actually gonna ride my bike this time, and I'll pull you in the trailer." So that was funny. He's been doing well. Got snacks, got a Yodo, listen to stories, and these guys, blanket, water. He's been good. Now we're heading back, and he'll get to ride his bike as soon as we get back. So, all in all, took quite a bit of effort to get out. It's going to be obviously a lot easier every time now in terms of just the prep to get ready. Maybe not the ride, but next step is to try it with Mavi, our 2-year-old. So, but the trailer itself is pretty great. I can feel the suspension working, so I'm glad I got one with suspension. It's just making a pretty big difference. So all in all, good times. What were you saying, Wilder? You had fun? I'm so glad to hear that. You're having fun still? That's good. Well, we made it back and only had to stop a couple times. The biggest thing was I couldn't hear Wilder if he said that he needed something. He never actually, anytime I stopped, he didn't actually need anything. Or there's one time I gave him my phone to play a story. So it was really good. And now we get to get his bike out and ride around the park, and it's even a little bit warmer now. So first ride with the trailer was a big success. I heard a lot of creaking, which really annoyed me because I didn't know exactly what it was. It definitely seemed like it was part of the trailer. I've disconnected it now, and it seems like it's the hitch mount, just like the plastic part was creaking. Thankfully, it's not my bike. But yeah, that was a win. Got my workout in, and Wilder had fun doing it. So that's a major win, especially right now, while we're still in the first couple weeks of having a newborn. So we'll take it. Okay, it's trip number 2 with the trailer. I've got my 2-year-old in there this time, and it's a little colder today, so I have him a little bit more bundled up, and I've done about 55 minutes, and man, he was totally content the entire time. Turned around and checked on him at the turnaround, checked on him, and he was like, "I'm doing great. This is awesome." So it's good. It's encouraging. I think it should work well and everything, and learned a couple lessons about packing snacks and making sure that they're a little bit more contained, because made a mess on the last one, but we'll see how this one ends up. But it's working well. I think again, I'm happy with the fact that I went with like the more expensive trailer, because this one has bowed out sides, so it has a little bit more room inside. And I can already tell with these, just having one kid in at a time, and they're both, you know, bigger kids, 4 and 2, that they're gonna need that extra room for sure. So our 2-year-old is as big as our 4-year-old, so that adds to it. But yeah, another successful trip, and good signs that this is going to work out. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, I always felt a bit, I guess, guilty or whatever when I'd go out on a longer ride last year when I was training for Leadville. And, you know, these couple times, even though we have a 4-week-old baby at home, I don't feel as bad because I'm getting at least one kid out of the house. I'm getting my workout in. And I picked a week where the workouts aren't super consequential. Like, it's a recovery week, and these are just simple endurance rides. So if I couldn't do the workout as planned, it wouldn't have been detrimental versus, you know, a core workout to the week, or an important week, and not being able to execute on the workout. You know, that's a big deal. So got through the learning curve with a, you know, basic workout in, so that worked out. And I don't know if I'll be able to do hard intervals with this, but we'll see. I can at least do endurance rides, and I have plenty of those. So yeah, it's a big win.
Thanks again for tuning in, and appreciate you watching this video. And as you can see, the trailer was a big hit so far, so I hope it continues that way. And thanks so much for being a part of this journey. We are a few weeks out from my very first race, so that's very exciting and also quite nerve-wracking, but stay tuned for more as the season progresses.
Say hi.
Hi.
The playground's all wet, and they're having a special